这样才有在拍。I stand here now.
怎么啦？
就开始了。
Welcome. Good morning. This is this is I am Dr. Wu, and I'm glad to see you here to see you everybody here to see to hear the young, to attention the young sculpture to be here to presenting the first result they study in this period. And introduction is level what they are will do and they are will be planned and in the future. And the target is this lab is we target in the water resource and study the crisis and the solution and water. Water is very normal in our life, but it's very important and important we almost never see even in your around. But this quiz is very important. But I will show the 3 animation to introduction what the quiz is and I will start working for. The first animation is water in the air. The animation we will know how huge the water we use. Even the water in the air is very much, but we can use the water resources very huge. So just give me one minute. Okay. Something wrong in YouTube, so I speak myself. I'm showing myself. And you know, in the world, the water in the years, just very huge in the. It's very huge. I can use. We even see the ocean is very large the water, but you cannot be used. We can see the ground floor in the water in the ground floor, but we always cannot use. We can use the water just only surface water, just only see a lake, river, and just only. It is very huge. So we have taken the water as a diamond, but we just pollution as we people don't care and just pollution. And but pollution, the pollution from the industrial, the pollution from our lab, and the pollution from the everywhere business education in the lab, from the human, we make pollution, but we don't care, and we just take it as normal. So it's very important for the water. All the pollution what happen? All pollution in the water, it makes the water in suffocation. What's in suffocation? We can see everywhere. Just our pond, we are lake. It makes the pond or our lake is make a green. So it's semi poison is not good for our biological. So this we are live in this. We are left in all target in your life just make a solution for this insuffocation. So we are welcome. We are welcome the next for speak. So the first step we Evelyn. We are okay.
已经下一个流程了。
Thank you for the keynote speech, and let's welcome the two major members of our lab. They will present the results of our research during this time. So let's welcome.
Thank you. So, good morning to you all. We are the Green Device AI and Biotech, which stands for Artificial Intelligence and Biology Technology. Today, we are going to talk to you about solving the water eutrophication problem. I am Mr. CHVWang, and
I'm Evelyn Wu.
next slide, please.
what is the water resource. Water is directly used for drinking and cleaning. Water takes up 60 to 70% of human resources weight and is essentially for living. Unclean drinking water spreads disease and poison, gradually harming human and other living creatures or almost all the living creatures on the world.
So, as just described, water is essential for human living. Water takes up 60 to 70% of the human body, and according to the United Nations, they actually have a whole unit designated to studying water. It is a global issue by their definition. And the term sanitation that is used in UN essentially means health, which gives you a bit of an idea about how important water is related to our health, or to anything in fact, because water actually helps a country's industry develop greatly. Which leads to the next idea. Water is not just a global issue. Water is not just a concept that we should all be aware about. Water is directly related to money. Using water precisely, using water wisely leads to wealth. And if water is not used wisely, you can see this is the Dian Lake in China. It is completely polluted or eutrophicated, as we will talk about next. Next slide, please.
I'm gonna introduce what is the eutrophication. The water eutrophication can be divided to the natural eutrophication and the artificial eutrophication according to the source of the nutrient salt. And the nutrient level of the reservoir is divided into the three states: the oligotrophication, mesotrophication, and eutrophication. The three nutrients distinguish the nutrients contains in the water.
So now we already have a general idea of what eutrophication is about. Let me tell you a bit more. Because eutrophication is not just an issue that popped up during the last decade. Eutrophication has been around for hundreds of years, for as long as there's human history. But eutrophication has become more and more serious in the last decade because human eutrophication can be caused in just a few years. In just a few years, the water body can become as dirty as the Dian Lake, the picture I just showed you. So why are we here talking about eutrophication? Because the current methods used to resolve eutrophication has not resolved the issue at all. There are physical and chemical ways of resolving eutrophication. A physical way is called pumping. Pumping essentially means refreshing out the water, pumping in fresh water every few weeks or so. But as you know, this wastes clean water and this wastes electricity and energy. And of course, new pollution issues can be created by this method as well. Alright, next slide. So, of course, we are not just here to talk about how serious the issue of eutrophication is. We are here with a resolution that our lab has developed that we believe can resolve the issue of eutrophication once and for all. This is the application of the evolution theory by Darwin. The evolution theory essentially states that higher level of life has a higher chance of survival, but now we're going to twist it the other way around. We are going to use a lower level of life to conquer those weeds and other undesirable creatures that exist in the water body. That lower level of life is enzyme, or called chitinase here. Chitinase is an enzyme that is dug from the earth. It is entirely natural and it can erode away the weed and the undesirable creatures in the water body. Now, chitinase has been around for a long time as well, but we believe that we are the first lab that can use it wisely. We can dig it wisely. By wisely, I mean that we can dig it without creating more pollution and wasting more energy. And aside from that new technology that we have found, we also use artificial intelligence, hence why that is our unit's name. We use artificial intelligence to monitor our whole process. We can use AI to document and find out and analyze what is the best way of resolving eutrophication. So, with artificial intelligence and chitinase bound together, we believe we have found a new way, a useful way to resolve the issue of eutrophication. Next slide, please. So, I think it is appropriate time to introduce our team. Of course, we have the lab leader, which is the doctor that presented our keynote speech today, Dr. Hou Zhewu. Please give him a round of applause. And we have a very humble lab designer that is not on stage with us, but sitting down there and giving us instructions all the same. Ladies and gentlemen, please applaud Vincent Wang Sr. And I should not be asking for a round of applause here. I am the Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Engineer, Vincent Wang Jr. And of course, we have the Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Designer, which means she can design images and other programs for us, Ms. Evelyn Wu. So that brings us to the end of the introduction of eutrophication. We appreciate your listening.
In the first part, we heard the keynote speech and the two major members' presentation, and so we can have some ideas about these labs doing and their ideas about water pollution solution and they will going to do in the future. So we are going to the next part, and they will invite the two new learners to present, and after the two learners' presentation, then we will open discussion. So let's begin the second part. Let's welcome first Mason Lee and Matt Lee and Ethan Lee. Please welcome. Miss Emily will be the first one to do the presentations. Let's welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Lee, and he's Matt Lee. Today we are going to present the water issue. So this world is covered by water about like 70%, and it seems a lot, right? But there are only 0.2% of water that's drinkable for us. And so the water problem in this world have three major problems. The first problem is that people polluting poisonous element into water, like river, ocean, and it's mostly polluted by the factories and the industry companies. And the second problem is the trash. The trash is floating on the sea and eaten by the animal, like fish. And the fish eating those plastic trash, and it will pollute their body, and when we catch them up, then we will eat it, then we will get polluted. And the third problem is that our water pipe, is broken. In 2017, in Taiwan, there's about 14% of water pipe is broken, and we have lost a lot of water, clean water.
So our solution for saving clean water is to first the government need to raise the awareness about water. So they need to teach that for the people to be aware about the problem, and then teach them not to pollute the water. And the second step is to fix all leaking pipes. So leaking pipes, so no clean water will be leaking through the pipe, and they will save more energy and more water. And the third one is that we need to form a new law to find factories that pollute our water, our river and ocean. Like as Mr. Ho De-woo just said, they don't care about the water. They just care about their money. So we'll make them care about this issue, which to force them to make a law that if the factory is contaminating the water, force them to shut down the factory immediately and then fine it immediately. And the last step is to clean our beach periodically, and then our earth will be back to beautiful and clean again.
And this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.
That is our youngest new learner. Now is the discussion time. We have heard all their presentation, and I think maybe each of here have some question or some ideas want to ask them, share with them. So welcome everybody. Is there anyone who want to?
I have one question
Please.
for the first group. Can you give us some example for eutrophications? Some other examples.
Certainly, eutrophications are everywhere, except from the Dian Lake in China. That is one of the most serious cases of eutrophication in the world. That is why I put it up there. A lot of water reservoirs in Taiwan have eutrophication issues as well, such as the reservoir that we use every day, the Shimen and Feitui reservoirs, and also Zhengwen and Shim and Daxi. They also have serious eutrophication issues that have not been resolved yet. Are there any more?
And the other question for the second group, you mentioned about about 40% of the water leakage, which looks quite large. And that's quite impressive to me. And can you give us some other example how to save this kind of leakage, water leakage?
So, to solve the water leakage problem, government should go to check every places the pipe, the water pressure of the pipe, to check is it normal or not normal. If it's not normal, the government should change and make the pipe new. Any question? More?
The first thing, what's the advantage of your new technology? You will be used.
You can request another participant to ask your question for you. I mean, you can ask another participant to ask your question for you.
Are you really interested about the topic, or just because the professor, the doctor choose the topic for you to learn the topic?
The doctor offered us a guideline about which direction we should take on resolving a global issue, and certainly we have taken interest in the issue, particularly because I think resolving water is serious for everyone. Questions?